Good morning, history, class 711. Winston Churchill in his Chancellor's address at Bristol University in 1938 starts out by defining civilization. He suggested that it means a society based upon the opinions of civilians. It means that violence, the rule of warriors, and a despotic chiefs, the condition of camps and warfare, riots and tyranny, give place to parliaments where laws are made and independent courts of justice in which over long periods those laws are maintained. However, towards the end of the speech, he makes an important distinction that civilization will not last, freedom will not survive, and peace will not be kept unless a very large majority of mankind unite together to defend them. In light of this speech and with the context of the growing turmoil of the 21st century in terms of political and ideological tensions and warfare, I think it is important to understand the values, ideals, and a certain aspect of civil religion of Western civilization. To this extent, in this very short video, I will argue that Western civilization is exceptionally relevant today. The three main reasons are that Western freedom and liberty are sacred, yet fragile. Secondly, there is a rich, diverse history of shared language, civic ideals, and civic religion. And lastly, it is worth protecting, remembering, and sharing, especially to guard against growing illicit agencies that wish to subvert democracy, liberty, and freedom, as well as to combat growing post-modernism, which seeks to undermine truth, virtue, and spirituality. To begin with, the ideas of personal liberty, rule of law, representative democracy are born from a rich history. While it may be impossible for me to go over this rich history in 5 minutes, I do like the limited view as proposed by Birkin, which traces the rise of Northwest Europe and unifying or integrating Germanic and classic Christian heritage. From here, I do love a quote from Rousseau, who suggests internal obligations of morality is the religion of the gospel, pure and simple, the true theism, what may be called natural, divine, right, or law. From here, we can see the merging of rational thought mixed with Christian morality. However, the ideals of Western society are fragile, meaning if we are not careful to study, learn, and preserve them, they could be lost. Of course, the largest, most prominent example of the 20th century may be the Second World War. Hannan, for example, makes a startling point. Had the Second World War ended differently, liberty might have been beaten back all the way to North America. And had the Cold War gone any differently, it could have been eradicated altogether. He also suggests that the rule of law is rarer than we think. Oppression and arbitrary power are far more than usual. Robert Royal also makes a similar point, arguing that the West weakening or demise would pose a threat to many human virtues. From here, it's important to point out that ideologies drive conflict. Many ideologies are incompatible or antithesis to the ideals of the West and will always exist to seek to destroy or replace them. Once again, Hannan points out that man is a competitive creature, domineering and rapacious, especially when the circumstances are right. To this, studying, implementing Western ideals can help combat the various illicit ideologies. Moreover, they may help give us more meaning to our lives that stand in contrast to growing postmodernist or reductionist viewpoints. For example, Robert Royal points out that there is a tendency for the sciences, in many cases humanities, to pinpoint us down to just mere chemical reactions. I would argue here that ideals stemming from Western civilization, the study thereof, and the continued appreciation and implementation of these ideals give us, as Royal points out, the formation of virtue and dignity. Even though we are a diverse nation with many religions, nationalities, and ethnicities, I believe that the shared civic religion stemming from the rich history of Western civilization gives our lives meaning and direction. This rich heritage deserves to be shared with future generations and passed down. If we want to stand firm against institutions and agents that wish to subvert liberty, representative democracy, and rule of law, then it's exceptionally important to study and hold these values. As Hannan points out, free elections, habeas corpus, and uncensored press and the rest are now universally acknowledged. However, he also suggests that we tend to become complacent, to assume that every nation moves in a direction of liberal democracy. And in fact, we know this not to always be the case. Thank you very much. Have a good day.